Okie dokies. Well, what happened was, let me know if it sounds okay. I do have the air on, both air conditioners on because it's pretty hot. Coming in from working outside, I'm still dirty hands, dirty hands, clean money. Uh, Gladys is actually outside. She's finishing up the kiddo's hair. This is going to be her last time getting her hair colored, along with uh, a quick trim, in preparations for what she wanted to do for Halloween. But whenever she is done, I'm sure she will be inside. So we'll just let some folks filter in. Hopefully, I did because I was uploading video for Monday for tomorrow. Um, it had already been interrupted twice. So I went ahead and interrupted it for a third time just so it was not uploading while doing this. Kind of see how if that does help with the quality, I guess. We're still in talks with the electric company trying to figure out when we're going to get fiber because they have it out at the street, but they need to run it into our property. Hello, Heather. As you filter in, if you wouldn't mind giving us that thumbs up, share us out. Greatly appreciated. Just let some more folks trickle in. I know some folks just come in just to listen. They don't necessarily like to chat, and that's fine. You don't got to chat, but we do like that interaction. So it's been a busy Sunday. Not a very good Sunday. We might touch on that here in a little bit, but especially when you don't know exactly what happened. So something happened and it wasn't good, but nobody knows what happened. So mom, dad is fine. Kids are fine. Get out here, fly. Shoe fly. Dad's been working on a truck. So we had actually Drew and Lindsay had came over the other day and ran codes on the truck just so I can see, hey, what's it doing? Because I did not have a code. I have a code reader now. I actually purchased one, and then right after I purchased one, he's like, "Hey, I found mine. I'll come over and give you some codes." And that's the way it always happens, right? You end up buying something, and then you end up getting help with whatever you just bought. And then mom is actually also going to help with some of the funds because the noise that it was making, for one, whenever I first drove it, I always said that it felt like a fuel issue, like it just wasn't getting the fuel that it needed, or just something was going on fuel wise, right? As I was driving it, just how it was running, it always seemed like it's fuel. Well, basically, it turns out that's what all this issue is that's going on right now. So the codes that were popping up was one of the sensors for timing, right, which was lets you know if it's retarded or not, right, and whether it's going to be lean or rich, uh, one of those things. And that's one of the codes that popped up, plus one of the O2 sensors on the passenger side. And so you normally have two, right? You have one that's right as the exhaust starts before the catalytic converter, and then normally you have one after your catalytic converter. And then that one, if that sensor is bad, it lets the computer know that, hey, I'm not getting enough fuel or whatever it is, and it just starts dumping a bunch of fuel into that side. And that's what was happening. And then obviously in doing that, it's causing the timing because those trucks, it's the flex fuel series, and the F-150s, right? They have a part that's on the timing stuff that it can self adjust, right, to help with some of the different things. Well, that's one of those. If that sensor goes bad, it's going to cause it to adjust to a way that you don't want it to, and then it runs rough. But we also heard, and even when Drew was here, kept hearing it was like a not necessarily a metallic tinking whatever noise, but it was kind of like a plastic on plastic. Well, this truck actually has a plastic intake, and that's kind of what it sounded like. And it wasn't constant; it would happen and go away, happen, go away, but it was constant enough that it sounded like something was rattling around inside of the intake. So he was basically saying, "Yeah, just take it apart." And hello, Paul. And there was enough going on. Plus, he had also talked about another vehicle that he'd worked on. It was like the Chevy Cruze or something like that. That it has kind of like an arm in there that helps with fuel supply and such, along with the throttle body. And I forgot like what he said it was called, but this truck actually does have that, and there's a sensor that's on the back, and that's actually what it looks like, and it does help control fuel supply on both sides. Well, she's outside. She's finishing up the kiddo's hair. She was doing a trim and a coloring. So I'm pretty sure that she'll be in once she's done. But the sound that we kept hearing, it sounded like something was in the intake. So we wanted to take the intake back off, kind of give it a shake and look around and see if there was anything loose in there with it being plastic. You don't want that stuff going down into your cylinders, whatnot. So we took it off, gave it a good shake, didn't hear nothing. And this was that part that Drew had mentioned, of something that could possibly be bad, of more like the sensor part, but it could even be the part that's causing that noise. So we took it off, gave it a shake, and that's exactly the sound that we were hearing. I don't know if you can hear it, but that was the sound that we were hearing. And it wouldn't be constant, but it'd be enough. And I have a feeling that this is what's bad, and this part is $100. So I think my mom is actually going to help out with that. I just got to wait for those funds to get here. So, yeah, trimming and coloring, I need to get in line. Well, I don't necessarily need a coloring. I like my natural colors I got going on. I've been wanting a haircut for the longest. This is just getting way out of hand. But Gladys doesn't want me to cut it. So she's enjoying my long hair for whatever reason. It is coming on to be wintertime. I don't necessarily, I hate hair covering my ears. I've always hated that. I don't mind my hair being long on the top. I don't even mind hair being long in the back. Obviously in this area of the United States, the mullet is still in style. I'm not saying that I want to rock that look, but if for whatever reason I was to shave the sides and leave the top and the back long, I wouldn't be out of character for this area, right? So, but yeah, with that, we'll see what happens. I have not had a haircut for quite a while because we had to order new blades for our clippers, and those are actually in the mail. They're coming. So we actually had a subscriber send us an Amazon gift card. So thank you. You know who you are. We've already had also sent out thanks for that. But some of the things that we were needing, I guess some of them were wants, right? A need/want. And we went ahead and got those items with those funds. So we definitely thank you for that. Yeah, a mushroom. It's me, Mario. Nah, it's all right. At least it's not the bowl cut, right? Where you just put the bowl on there and then I've actually had that. I want to say I was maybe 5. I don't know if my mom jumps in. She might be able to attest to that, or if she's already here, I don't know. She might be able to attest. I actually have, and I have pictures somewhere. Well, I know Gladys has a book that my mom had made that kind of goes back even like baby pictures and stuff. has a bunch of pictures in there from high school and things. You know how moms are; they collect stuff like that, and then finally give it back to you whenever you're old. And now Gladys keeps it, and it actually has one of those pictures that's in there of where I had a bowl cut. Yeah, yeah. So and literally would set a bowl on my head and then go around with clippers. Yeah, or with scissors to establish that line, and then basically cut everything else. Um, or I've even had the bowl cut like that with putting the metal bowl on my head at a barber shop when I was a kid. I actually remember that. But man, that look, I guess was early early '80s, early '80s. So that's when because I think that was more of the '70s style haircut, but it kind of bled over into the '80s, the early '80s. But yeah, no, I would love to get a haircut. Uh, but right now we're still so I think those the clippers the new blades for our clippers comes in on Wednesday, so it's the 23rd. So um, hopefully once those come in, I'll be able to trim up the sides a little bit. I definitely need to because all this down here I've been wanting to trim. Just I did have a set of clippers that were rechargeable that I used for my beard, but they died. Like I do need to get another set at some point. Before she could give me another, yeah. Oh yeah, there are plenty of times I had the buzz cuts and the flat tops, and even well, I had a mullet, back in the '80s, mid to late '80s. I rocked the mullet for quite a while, but that's actually when a lot of people did it across all of the United States, not just southern states. At that time, I was living in California with a mullet, so you know it's in style if they're doing it in California. Yeah, yeah, a Beatles cut. Yeah, most definitely been there, done that. No, it's for right now. I mean, like if you have longer hair on the top and it's all shaved along the sides and the back, and then whatnot, that's more of like a Viking, right? The Viking style, especially if you're putting like a braid or something into it. But I don't know. That's been around a very long time. But I think I think a lot of the shows, like the TV shows, is kind of what's making that famous. But yeah. Oh, the mullet's probably been around for a very, 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 very long time, whether they call it a mullet or not. But yeah, different Viking styles. So I don't know how are y'all doing on this warm? It's actually a very warm Sunday. I thought it was a little warmer today than I don't know what did it call for. It's up in the 80s. Um, little warmer than which yeah it's going to be warming back up by Wednesday. We're getting back into the 90s. So yeah, it's that time of year that man, the roller coaster of heat wave, cold wave, which I'm definitely ready for. Some of the colder weather to kill out some of these bugs because right now a lot of the daddy long leg spiders are just out of like they're everywhere. Because I was doing some stuff on the tractor yesterday, just riding around, and there'd be probably well over 100 spiders just on the tractor. I'm sitting there trying to drive, and I hate spiders. And I actually watched the video the other day. It was of a lady that had jumped out of her car because I guess there was a spider, right? That's what it said. And I forgot. I want to say it's like on the Book of Face thing. It might have been TikTok. I don't know. But anyway, one of those late night things. Sitting there just watching reels, watching videos, shorts, right? and she jumps out of her car, and the car's still like in drive, and it just continues to take off. She just gets out and starts walking down the median, and then the car like continues to go, and then jumps the median, hits a car on the oncoming side traffic. Other cars are like swerving not to hit it, and then continues and goes and hits a tree. And she's just walking. She doesn't care. I mean, I hate spiders too, but I think that's a little extreme for hating spiders. So, your part of England is 57 degrees Freedom Height, and it rained most of the day. Man, we so need rain right now. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say drought, but we've been without rain for so long that, I mean, we are in a burn ban. It is so dry, like, because right now we've been digging and digging and digging. Because we actually have a video coming out Monday, and I'll kind of spill those beans a little bit, that we're trying to get out that pine stump, kind of the same way that we pulled out the stump in the little driveway area, because that pine stump technically is going to be in the driveway area of what we're setting up to be driveway, especially going up the ridge to where we plan on, building up on top of the ridge, so that whole drive is basically just going to continue coming basically right here in front of where the RV is. It's going to kind of split the area between animals, garden space, and then, eventually we'll have some outbuildings and stuff like that right here in this area next to the garden. But the driveway is going to split that, right? And it's going to be roughly 12 foot wide, I think, is what I'm doing. We might even do a little bit wider, but if we make the driveway wider, we have to make the garden space not as big. So, but it'd be nice to be able to have that road, going, and it's going to go right next to the house, the gathering house, because we want to actually have parking area in the back for grandma. So I do want to have a nice area over there that will all be flattened out and such, which I have been in talks to some folks. So actually on Book of Face for our local town, we have it's like a page that you can go in and ask questions, right? And people can go in there and ask. It's like a group, right? And you can go in there and ask questions, and people can give you answers and things like that. So if you're looking for something, right? If you're looking for work, or you're looking for a part to your vehicle, or you need help with something, or you're just looking for stuff, right? Just about any question you can think of, you can answer on that group, and they'll give you an answer, right? Well, so I went in there and asked, for folks that can do bulldozer work, and just looking for rates and such, and actually have found someone that I'm going to be calling today after the live, and probably like right before dinner time, because he actually has a really good rate, actually better rate. Really close, but a little bit better rate than the guy that we originally were going to do, the guy that had been helping out the community. And that he had actually broke his dozer right over on David's place. So because of that, we've been looking for other stuff. Well, I think we are going to go ahead and hire out the guy to come check it out, because he does have a minimum time frame of what you can do. So for what his rate is and what his minimum is, it would be roughly 5 hours worth of work. So for the amount of funds that we have saved up currently, for the house build site, for the house prep, and then also be able to do the deposit, it does work within our budget for the most part, but that's also going to be taking away from the amount of shell that I can buy. So instead of being able to do, like 5 or 6 loads of shell, I'm going to have to utilize that funds for dozer work, and then basically get half. So, but with that, I won't have to buy as much shell to fill in the land if he's able to come and flatten it out more than what I can do with a tractor and box blade. which I got it pretty good, but I know he can do a lot better. And also with that is the rest of the stumps, a lot of the area that we have that can be cleaned out, that's going to be utilized for turnaround space, driveway space, parking area space. That stuff that we would need the dozer for. So I'm definitely going to give him a call later, have him come out sometime this week, and then kind of see what he says of how long he thinks it would take. And at a bare bones minimum, if he can come out and give me at least 5 hours worth of work, whether it's done or not, and then we'll kind of just go from there.
I need to go shower.
You're wet.
I'm not wet. You
got hair on you.
Hair all over me.
So.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm not gonna cause trouble. I've had an emotional past couple of hours.
Yeah, I haven't said anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Mom's had it bad.
Yeah.
Luna passed away today. Everybody was outside working. The cats were running around here having fun like normal, and
yeah, I came inside to check on this, the part on this, and as I came in, I seen that she was laying on the couch. Didn't think anything of it,
she was
and
like gurgling. Not gurgling. She was just.
Yeah, and then as I was leaving, because I'd looked this part up, and then as I was leaving, putting the pillow back on because I know cats sometimes will come and mess with the laptop, so I'd leave a pillow on there, and I'd put the pillow back on the laptop to go back outside.
Yeah.
And I had seen actually fluid coming from her nose, so that's why I yelled at the door for them to come in, and yeah, so we don't know what happened.
We tried opening her airways, compressions, and
yeah.
Who's the dog? We don't know. We don't know, and it's hard because
no, I don't want to loop her.
We're warming up to her, and they loved her, and she was sweet. And I was fostering her, so she wasn't even fully adopted.
Yeah, she wasn't even adopted yet.
And she had just gotten her second dose of shots. She was under the weather a little bit for a day or so, but I don't know what happened, and it's hard.
Yeah.
Especially with itty bitty fur babies.
Yeah. And all of her brothers and sisters have passed away at the place that does the fostering.
I thought she was going to really be a trooper. I mean, she survived this long, so we don't know what happened.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we will find out. So we're going to take her back up there to see if they can do anything.
Or dad or someone put her in a bag in the freezer. So, yeah.
Yep. Which we still have, which right now he's been in a kennel, but we still have Apollo.
Yeah, no, we're all
which is
scared.
the kiddos. Yeah.
We don't know.
Hopefully it's not something that can go from one to the other.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, they both just got their shots, so we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been rough. It's been really rough. Because I'm the one that got her the cat. I got her the cat so that she can feel, pick her up a bit either. Because of Beastie. But yeah.
Yeah, because Beastie was young too whenever she passed.
Yeah, so.
You just don't know.
Yeah. My babies.
Yeah.
My babies. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yep. Well, and we'll let folks know too. As we find out news, we'll let everyone know. That's if they can even see anything. So. Hello, Karen.
Hope all y'all doing well, though.
But yeah, like I said, I mean, everybody, we were all outside. We're working on the tree stump. Even Gladys got in the holes, been digging,
I
helping
was.
out. Mom was in the hole digging.
We were in there, and
Dad and I was over on the truck. We
everyone
were
so
digging, and then
happy digging
Yeah.
and getting into it today since I haven't been outside to help him that much.
now she's
I
been
have
doing a lot of
Finances,
paperwork stuff
yeah,
and computer stuff, and the
her
last few
hair
days.
stuff, and so now that I was trying to get into the groove of things because I've been under the weather with these kids.
Yeah, all of us are still not 100%. I've still been hawking up stuff. She's still been hawking up stuff. So.
Yeah. It's just like the remnants of this.
Yeah, it's just that last little bit, which who knows that I know animals can get sick from humans.
So,
who knows? But
I don't know. I do want to know though. I do. I do want to know. So now it's like worried, keeping an eye on all the other animals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what happens when you live with animals that are part of your family.
Yeah. Because I mean, I know it's different. Raising animals that you're raising to slaughter.
Yeah.
And then raising animals as pets, right? So obviously, if you have an animal that's a pet, it's part of the family.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want anything to happen to them. Sometimes it's hard too, even raising the animals that that you're going to slaughter, especially when you have kids.
And it's a learning curve. Yeah, it is. It's you got to get into that mentality that this is food.
Yeah,
this is food.
You still give your thanks, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you give your
to
thanks
all that.
for them providing.
Yep, providing for the family.
For the family, yeah.
And even when it comes to passing of pets and family members and stuff is just remember the good times.
Mm-hmm.
And
I know, but it's not him that attracts all the animals, it's me.
Yeah.
And I rather ask for forgiveness after I get it.
Yeah.
But he knows who he married, so
yeah.
If it was up to me, I'd have freaking.
Me personally, I could easily be on this entire property with not a single animal and be perfectly fine. Now, is that realistic whenever you're trying to be a little more self-sufficient and you're trying to be, living off your own land and things like that?
No.
Like you have to have animals.
Unless you're one of those vegetarians.
Yeah, and that's part of the process, right? Is having a good garden space, but having the different types of animals that helps you with your land. It helps you with those things. So, and there's different things. Obviously, she would like to have a cow, right? What's the type of cow that she wants? It's not going to be good for anything other than she wants it as a pet. Now,
I wouldn't mind having
I would even take
regular cow either.
Like a Jersey cow. I would take a Jersey cow to go out there and milk it.
I would do that, yes. It's something to teach your kids.
Doing stuff, having goats, which a lot of people hate goats, right? I understand.
I would do it just...
Me personally, I do not want to have any type of male goat on a property. That I think majority of the problems that you have when it comes to goats normally is because of the males.
Yeah.
Especially if they're not, weathered or anything like that. And I would rather, if I'm going to have goats, the goats are going to be here for a reason, and that's to help clear property, right? So I don't need a male goat for that. And they don't even have types of meat goats that you can later have, for meat. Some of those goats too, you can even have for milk production, which obviously to have milk production, they have to have a kid. And to do that, you have to have a male goat. Well, we don't.
You can put that. I'll continue, but just put that on. I have Bluey.
Don't physically need to have, right? Because I can do a stud service, go to a friend or someone else that has male goats.
Smothered in there. It'll work.
And kind of dressing a doll.
I have blue ink on me, from the hair dye. So I don't want to get this blue ink on the doll's clothes. that
There's
she's
also the
into.
one that has the articulating hands.
Yeah, they are. They're the, what are they called? The I Love You Disney or something like that dolls. Yeah,
And this shirt.
it is. You see, he made it work. Yay, he made it work. But man, I got hair everywhere.
Yeah.
I told Denise that she looks like
I don't play with dolls. Yes, I have all daughters.
all daughters.
I don't play with dolls. I don't.
But she likes these dolls. I like these dolls. I mean, they're not Barbie or anything. I like these dolls better.
But yeah, for the male goats, right? It's just they're the ones that cause most of the issues. If a goat's going to get out of the fence, normally it's going to be the male goat, right? Majority of the smells, the bad smells that you're going to have on your property from goats, it's from the male goats. Any of those issues that you have, 9 times out of 10 is the male goat. So I do not want to have that, because to do anything that I want to do with goats, I can, stud that service out, go to friends, or it doesn't have to be a friend, right? I can even just go to Facebook and be like, hey, I'm looking for a male goat that I can stud with my females. I can travel or take my female to you or anything like that, right? It's all part of that.
Over here.
To be able to get the milk, to be able to get the kid and be able to do those things. And then, right, and even if you have
That one.
the female goat have like 1 or 2 kids, if one of those happens to be a male,
Take it off.
then those are the ones that you castrate or to be able to keep along big enough until you can process them up for a freezer camp or sell them, right? You can sell them as a kid and just either get money straight from those. But like I said, I do not want to keep any type of male goat.
I know, right?
Yeah. I protest too much. Yeah. Says I don't play with dolls as I'm playing with dolls. Yeah. Get it.
You're not technically playing, you're dressing
Yeah.
up. But...
There's mom. Want goats. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely gonna have goats. Just
she wants a goat to
Goats.
dress.
Yeah.
She wants to dress a goat.
Yeah. The little tiny
pygmy goats.
The little pygmy fainting goats.
That'd be funny.
They are funny because they'll start jumping around and they're like.
I saw a whole compilation on YouTube about it, and I was just sitting there watching it the whole time. I mean, you know how many people watch just videos of that?
Yes.
I was like,
and goat does make really good meat, exactly, for curries and stuff, which we do have. So we actually went and helped out Black Sheep Project process up some goats. Definitely go check them out, y'all. Send them their love if you're not subscribed to them. They are very good friends of ours, and one of the goats that we helped process, right, was not neutered. So that meat, right, it has just so much testosterone. Testosterone.
There you go.
Words are hard, right? But it changes the
whole dynamic,
the whole taste of the meat, right? It's like if you know what a really bad goat smells like, because they like peeing on themselves and just doing all the nasty stuff like that. That smell also goes into the meat, and basically the meat smells the exact same way.
It's
right?
Nasty.
So, and a lot of your smell receptors goes same with your taste receptors. So if it smells bad, it's probably going to taste bad too, right? And it does. And there's different processes you can do to kind of help with that, which we are going to try a few different ones.
We did. I just put some yogurt on mine, on all of the goat meat. So the goat meat right now that is packaged has plain yogurt.
Yeah,
on it. It's to help bring down that taste.
Yeah, it's right now it's packaged in yogurt. Yeah. So that's one of the things that we're trying, right, to kind of see how that goes. Now, for their meat, because they had 2 goats, right? So one goat was neutered, and that meat actually smelled really good. It didn't have that pungent smell to it. And then the other one, which we took half of the one that had the pungent smell, but all of their half that they had, Micah had just mixed in all of it together, right? And he was fine. The kids were fine with it. of how, because they had already tried it. He was fine with how it tasted. The kids were fine with how it tasted. Liz, not so much. Didn't really care for it. We didn't really care for it.
Well, that was the first time of it, how it was cooked. Yeah.
How Dad had cooked it, right? We didn't really care for it. So,
yeah.
But we're going to be trying other ways. And yes,
out.
but in a curry, that is by far the best way to cook goat meat.
Yes, it is the best way.
But yeah, right now we're just letting it settle out in some, and it's non-flavored, nothing. It's just plain old
yogurt.
You got the Greek yogurt, right?
Yeah, I think it was just the Greek yogurt. It was just plain yogurt.
Yeah, just the plain of the plain, right?
Yep, that's all you need.
And a lot of that obviously is going to have the enzymes and the stuff that's in it, right? The cultures that kind of helps break the meat down. So it's almost like doing, where some people will cook with the acids and different things, just different ways of cooking.
Right? Oh, lamb is yummy too.
Lamb is definitely. Yeah. Which, I mean, go away, shoe fly. For someone that lives in New Zealand for a long time, obviously lamb out there is a staple.
It's cheaper than here.
And I don't want that.
Just like cow tongue is cheaper.
So I know there's types of lamb that you can get that you don't have to worry about, trimming them and cutting them and doing all that, which I would do that. But some of the different lamb, that they're just very high maintenance to me, right? Now, I'm not willing to put in that time to raise lamb because of that. But if we were to come across, lamb in our area that we could get that is low maintenance, that doesn't require all the shearing and all that stuff, I'd raise lamb. I'd probably do that more than goat, because they're going to eat a lot of the same stuff that the goats do, which is all the underbrush and everything, and that's what we're wanting. We're wanting to be able to clear out underbrush. So, which I think this one's probably going to go shower here soon, because the kiddo's getting out of the shower now.
Yeah.
And I know she's sitting here just miserable.
Sorry.
You can kind of see it.
I'm not a Debbie Downer. No, yeah. I'm just thinking. Just thinking. Yeah. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Hello, Haig.
Hello. Yeah, it's definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had both. I've had lamb and goat, and we were just saying, for a curry, right? That goat tastes best as a curry. Vice cooking goat as something else.
Well, also, goat has to be cooked slow.
And it does.
That is the best way to cook
low and slow.
Yeah. It is a lot better.
Yeah. And then, but yes, I don't know. I think it's kind of a toss-up. I like both of them equally, I guess, between lamb and goat as a curry. It just really depends.
You're such a fat kid.
Yeah, I just love food. I do just love food.
Fat kid.
Yeah.
Lamb is great for Sunday roast with mint sauce.
Mint sauce. Oh. Actually, I have never, ever tried a mint sauce. I mean, I've seen it. I've heard of it. Obviously, being overseas and doing stuff like that, I've seen it. But
okay, it says, "Hi, Paul. When not blowing you away,
yeah.
UK not too bad." Future spent in Muri. Okay. Hello, mint sauce. You must be English.
Yep. Yep. Paul is in the UK.
Yep, he is.
Yep.
Oh, I have a bunch of hairs on me. You don't want that.
Go play, please.
Go play. Say hi to everybody.
Yep.
Say see ya.
All right.
Bye. Go play with your dollies.
Thank you.
Or your whatever.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah, she's been playing with dolls and stuff. Yeah.
Says no Peaches Bended
Can you
Murray.
close her door,
I
please?
stayed in all day with that rain and wind. So it must be
Rain and wind. Yeah. Well,
some
yeah, I
bad
think some of
weather.
the tropical storms headed out back that way. Ones that had
They did
kind of
have.
circled around, didn't really do anything with us. I do try to keep up with Ryan Hall, y'all, and the weather, but
They also had the weather up in New Mexico, or
yeah, they
down
had
in
a
New
lot
Mexico.
of
They had
flash
some
floods out in Roswell, New Mexico area that
anyone's out there.
we watched this morning.
Be careful.
Um,
But yeah.
I don't think they're calling for any type of rain here, which I mean,
no, we have burned bad.
Yeah,
for a couple of days now, and no rain. It's actually just been going down to like the 40s all week.
Yeah, even our 10-day forecast.
Yeah.
Nothing. Like,
Storm Ashley, one angry woman.
I did say. You can see that.
Sun. That's all I can see. Right?
Yeah.
Flash floods in Roswell, Taylor for UFO sightings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably out there causing all that ruckus.
All the ruckus.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Aliens.
Well, you can't say that they're coming back because they've been here the whole time.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go put on our.
That's the story. I mean, we can actually get into that if you would like. If anybody would like us to do a video of how we feel about that.
They're real.
And stuff of.
Let's go put in our.
The Anunnaki and just all those different things.
Metal.
Tinfoil hats.
Tinfoil hats.
So I would gladly do a video.
I know. We follow. I mean, we.
Conspiracy theories and all that stuff. Oh, yeah.
All the conspiracy theories. We'll look at all of them. Look at all. Yeah. Ancient aliens. The aliens are. Yeah. The kiddos.
Yeah. I don't eat anything.
All history stuff.
There's some things I will not eat.
Yeah. You always did eat everything. Yeah, I know, right? He doesn't eat his peas. He doesn't want peas. He says, "Stop giving me peas."
Nope. Pea salads. Nope.
I like peas.
Don't want nothing to do with that.
I'd make some pea soup, but you don't like pea soup.
Don't want pea soup? Nope. Anything to do with peas? Nope.
It's like your mom's trying to still get you to eat those.
Yep. I mean, I'll eat snap peas. Like fresh snap peas.
The snap peas are not the same.
Eat them, yeah.
Oh, snap peas are yummy, though.
Yeah. I'll eat that.
It says, ARC, you had
it's like those
winter. My kids saw frost
they're disgusting,
for the first
mushy.
time after we left Africa. Wow. After they left Africa. Frost for the first time.
It was day before yesterday. We had, I want to say, because it's only supposed to get into like 38 overnight time. And I know, like, Dogman Mike, right, watched all Mountain Living. He has sensors and stuff like that around his home with his dogs and stuff like that. And he got up early in the morning, like before the sun came up, and it was 28 degrees.
Yeah,
so
cold,
that's below freezing. That's freedom height.
They were talking something.
Not the Celsius, but
they were talking something about La Nina, where it's going to be a lot cooler. That's
below 0 Celsius. So,
and
that's early. That's early. Which right now, I mean, we're still getting into like the 40s as of right now. But we had a really cold snap come through for about 2 days. So yeah, that was technically the first frost in our area.
I like it.
Which I'm glad that I've already gotten a lot of the well house stuff taken care of. I still do not have our hydrants and stuff like that outside the RV. I do not have that winterized yet, so that's still a work in progress. So I know that cold weather is coming though, like overnight. So trying to get all that stuff situated and wrapped up and taped up and the heat tapes and all that stuff put on there before we start really getting the super cold weather.
What's that? Beans?
New Zealand took America's Cup, beat the UK. Oh,
Someone was saying that they hoped it wasn't part of it. They were still too tiny, and we had just started giving them.
In case anybody is wondering, Linda is my mother. That's
Mom's
Mama.
here.
Yeah. So, and yes, they've actually lived out in New Zealand for quite some time.
Honey, let me shower.
I'm coming. I
Peace.
I guess you can come out now since people are here to supervise you.
You want to come sit down with them while I go?
Yeah.
I'm
Paul doesn't follow any sports that
Catherine.
deals with a ball because he's
No.
the shape of a ball.
Whoa.
See you
Love
later,
you, Paul.
guys.
Catherine.
No, ma'am. Take it up.
Shower. Dirty.
So you need to wait whenever mom tells you it's time to shower, right? So go put your clothes down whenever she comes and gets you. Thank you. But yeah, we're just going to continue. I will let folks know. So that's one of the biggest projects we're working on right now, right? Is we're still working on the house pad. We're still doing that stuff. Little Mac is down hard. The video coming out Monday, you guys will see that. I think it's at a point now that, because I have shown before where it was leaking oil, right? I already knew it was leaking oil, and that it has blow by in the engine because it's the diesel engine with a blow by. If you don't know what that means, it's basically the seals inside the engine for the exhaust is blowing past the cylinders, right? And then the rings of the pistons. So with all of that pressure and all that stuff, instead of the exhaust going out like it's supposed to, it's kind of going down into the block of your engine, creating pressure, and then that pressure is pushing the oil out. Basically, there's like a tube that comes out of the top of the block, and that's kind of what that's for, right? And I think right now that we have more issues other than just the blow by, because it would go through about a quart of oil a month, give or take, depending on how much I used it. But I could see how much oil was being pushed out. Well, I was using it day before yesterday, I think it was yesterday, and it might even be day before yesterday, and it pushed out almost 2 quarts of oil in less than 10 minutes, and it is like throwing it out. So I think that I either have a crack in the engine, the actual block of the engine, or it's actually caused some of the other seals or something to go bad, and that now it's just I can't keep oil in it. So for right now, that tractor's down. So that's one of the reasons why I'm went ahead and started looking for a dozer service. And I'm just going to have to utilize some of those funds from of what we're going to utilize to buy some of the materials, right, for the top layer of the house pad, to pay for the dozer service. So it happens. We're doing. I mean, even if we have to wait an additional, because at the bare bones lease, right, of what we're paying for this, or what I plan on paying for this, along with the materials that's still needed. With that, if it came down to it, to where we had to wait one extra month to be able to bring the house in, that's really all it's going to take, right? Is that one extra month. So, I mean, it's not that bad. So if, as of right now, they've said that the house should be done in November, but we haven't heard anything else on that. We originally was December 8th was supposed to be when the house is going to be done, and that's the first week of December is kind of like, what we're looking at right now of being able to finish paying off the deposit and getting that here. And then if for whatever reason it takes a little bit more to do the dozer work and getting materials and stuff like that for the house pad, because we were not able to add the house pad into the financing of the house. for whatever reason, the bank's being stupid. Um, so with that, if it takes that one extra payday, whatever. We still have the RV, right? We have much better water. We'll deal with it. We've already been through a winter in the RV. Is it fun? No, but it doesn't really start getting cold here until like February, March timeframe. So I mean, yes, it does get cold in January, but with that, we we'll still be able to do a lot of the work that's needed because we're still going to have to run power. We're still going to have to run septic, and we're still going to have to run water lines, to the new house. And we can't do that until after the house is already delivered. So, with that being said, which I do have a lot of those materials here already, other than septic. I'll still have to buy those, the main line, the 4-inch, because I don't know how much of that I'm going to need to buy until the house is in place, and I basically run the trench, and because for the distance of what I think it's going to be, it will need to drop 8 inches, right? Because you want it to be a 1/4 inch drop every so far, right? It's like a 1/4 inch to 1 inch of drop, basically every 4 feet, and then so with the distance that we have to go, it will have to drop down, a good 8 to 9 inches. But from where the house will be sitting, and it's up higher, right? Because it's manufactured home, sits on blocks. Once it comes down out of the house and basically from the ground going out, we'll see. Because it might not even be all the way underground, first starting. So that's something that we either would have to backfill that to kind of build up that land a little bit right there, or the stuff that's like underneath the house, you can always heat tape that. But we already planned because the house does come with skirting, so that's not something, because a lot of times you would have to do that separate, right? But it's 1/4 inch drop per foot, 1 inch every 4 feet. There you go. It's something like that. And then because for right now we were like, rough estimate was 60 feet. I think is what the septic line is. The main septic line going out to the tank is going to be. So, howdy, Chris and Joe. I seen you. Pop in. Says hello, prayers, blessings all from Eastern Iowa. Definitely thank you for dropping in. America's Cup is a sailing competition. Oh, see, I don't even know that. Says, but I started watching sports when I left. Come home, no matter what sports on, make myself a promise. I don't really watch sports either, Paul. I mean, I used to watch football, obviously, growing up. Dad and stuff like that would watch football. My ex used to watch football. She's a real big sports fanatic from her family, but and it won't be too bad, Paul, because from where the tank sits to where the house will be, it's pretty significant drop. So, plus, even if it came down to it, you can even do the macerator pumps. Do I want to have to do that? No, but I know everything that I was able to find online, and just going through and even talking to a few folks that. Um, yeah, it was. It's pretty close to a foot. I want to say it was is 8 to 11 inches. Um, because right now, well, even like the intake to where the tank is 14 inches underground, and then from where the house is going to be to where the tank is probably going to be over a 2 foot drop. So I know that, for the distance that I need to go, that I'm not too worried about, the slope of the pipe getting to the tank. So yeah, yep, it will be all right. I mean, if we were any further away, because the because I've already seen the house, right? Of like when we went and walked around up at the, not our house, but the one they had on the lot, of where everything comes out at is more on the if you're looking at the house, the left hand side, but if you're in the house facing forward, it's the right hand side, right? So I don't necessarily look, because I always, as I'm looking at the front of the house, determine whether what's left and what's right, right? So as I'm looking at the house, the left hand side is where all the stuff is coming out, and that's the side that's closest to the septic. So it's also the side closest to the well. It's also the side closest to power, and that's where everything's at. Is more on the left hand side of the house. So, which, well, power is more towards the center back area, but that's fine. Power wise, we're not going to have to, because I've already called up, um, and talked to the person that comes, Shane, right? Is the person that comes and does all the inspections and stuff and looks. So we have not used, because you get a $5,000 like free fund of being able to do stuff. That's to include poles, running line, anything like that, as required. So since we have not had to really utilize any of that, they will be able to come and set another pole, and then where the pole that we're using now, because we're still going to be utilizing that power pole. So what the power pole that we're utilizing for the well is not going away. That's going to be there forever. But we will run another line going from the main pole where the transformer is coming over. They'll set another pole. Either they're probably going to put in another transformer, and then from that pole will come down to, because since it's a manufactured home, you can't run the power line directly to the house. It has to go to another pole that's sitting outside, and then from that pole, you run your power underground to come into the house. So, and that's what we're going to do, which I already have. So we're utilizing that power pole that we had up in the front of the property. We've already taken that out. We've already brought it over. Um, and then once the house is set in place and we get all the other power and stuff ran from the electric company, then I'm already going to have our power pole set of where I want it. I'm already going to have everything connected to the house. So all they will have to do is run the lines over, set a new pole, and then transformer, and then connect everything together. And yeah, 15 feet of digging. Nope, not going to do that, especially by hand. Yeah, you're definitely guaranteed to. Well, you probably wouldn't, because 15 foot of drop, just all the liquid goes away and it leaves all your solids. But I mean, 15 feet of drop is, even poop's going to roll down that. That'd be pretty crazy. Be pretty crazy, but All right, you guys. So, guys and gals, I definitely thank you guys, everybody, for being here. Just keep mom in your thoughts today, and Gladys. With the loss of a pet today, we don't know. We'll let everybody know what's going on with that, and then, like I said, we were just fostering what hasn't even fully been adopted yet. So, but with that, this is the part I probably need for my truck. It does make that noise. I think that's the noise that I was hearing. $100. We'll get that figured out, get it all put back together, and then let you know how it goes with dozer type stuff. So we definitely thank everyone for dropping in. Remember, last but not least, get out there. Always thank a veteran at every chance you get, not only on Veterans Day. And we will see you on the next one. There you go. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.